5 pastors versus 2 atheists.
Ooh, 2 secret atheists.
7
Pastor.
pastors.
I'm a pastor.
Yeah,
I'm a
it's
pastor.
5 or
I'm a pastor.
I'm a pastor.
Ooh, he's got the beanie on. He's a pastor for sure.
Youth pastor.
Un out. But there's 2.
I like this music.
So what about an introduction to start things off? My name is Jay. I'm an Episcopal.
No, he's an
I'm
atheist.
Don, pastor, non-denominational.
Dominic, Lutheran pastor.
John
Paul,
seems good.
youth pastor, SPC.
Paul wore a whole suit, and I was like, oh, maybe he's overcompensating. Like, I don't know what a pastor would wear on a Saturday. Maybe it's this suit.
So I'm Zach, former Calvary Chapel pastor, and now like fully Calvary guy.
Whoa! Yes!
Yeah, hence the
That's the 2
My
atheists there.
strategy is going to be this idea of like really trying to just hear the
Has to see his
heart behind
tattoos, bro.
like why people are pastoring.
Daniel, also
He's
youth
good.
pastor, non-denominational.
I'm Anna, largely non-denominational, kind of all over the place over the years.
I mean, I have a question like education. So
Sure.
seminary, maybe degrees. I don't know.
Seminary, theological studies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where at?
King's College as well as Oxford University.
Okay. Was that
Okay,
like
Don.
an MA or was it an MDiv?
think Don's
or what?
good.
Reeling me in.
I know.
Absolutely.
No, your turn. Your
Oh,
turn.
my turn.
Your turn. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
so I'm,
Give it
I'm-
to him.
So I'm
think
in
it's the
an
blue
MA
guy.
program at Western Seminary currently.
I went to Calvary Chapel Bible College.
Come on, dude.
Yeah. And then did the Veritas program, so a degree in theology with a focus in biblical studies.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Actually, not really a formal institution, but I grew up in such a rural area. There was just nothing for so far. So almost more like an apprenticeship kind of context.
yeah.
Tiny town with tinier towns around it. So we all would kind of come to the same Lutheran church primarily when I was studying.
What kind of Lutheran church?
Again, such a small area that just
Oh, Anna, bro, you're just
there's so few
fumbling.
people together.
Generic brand.
Yes, generic.
Anna, she doesn't even know the name of her church.
Immediately, I thought, well, if she's a Lutheran pastor, she would definitely
This
say
guy
which
seems like-
denomination she would be.
What town did you grow up
Any
in?
other pastor.
Upper Michigan, actually, very small area.
What town?
Near Marquette.
Oh.
It's kind of one of the
Jay's.
big cities around there, but
Gotcha.
it's the one that someone would know.
Anna spoke in very general terms. I don't even think she knew the city that she came from, but she
Bro,
knew the
this
city
guy-
that
this
was
guy's
next to
gotta
the city
be
she came
pastor.
from. And
Bro,
at that point, I was
Anna's
done.
You mentioned
Anna's
you grew
out.
up in the church.
Anna's
More
out.
of that going around?
Sure.
Okay, totally.
So I've been there all my life. Was baptized at 7 years old. I don't think I really became a believer.
I would
until was 30,
listen
be
to this
honest.
man preach.
I did
He's
it
got
because
that-
I was brought up.
He's got
That's
the
what you're
Southern
supposed to
He's got
do.
that
They
pasta.
do.
He's
What
got
they
that
say,
pasta.
believe, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, and then I got kicked out.
Wait, what,
All right, who's your 2 suspects?
bro? Bro, I think Anna's.
I think mine is
Just
Jay.
too generic,
Jay
like you're
and Jay and the dude in the suit. He didn't really say anything, but
The youth pastor, Paul?
yeah, I think so. The guy with the glasses suit, the Asian guy.
Oh, you're racist now.
Yes.
I'm just joking. Wait, let me see all of their face. Which guys do you think is?
Jay, the guy in the blue.
Oh, you think this guy?
Yeah, and the Asian guy next to him.
Really? I'm gonna say it's definitely. I'm gonna agree that it's one of those 2 guys, but Anna for sure.
I think Anna's too controversial.
Controversial.
She's too obvious. Like,
But what if they just got the right questions? Bro, she doesn't even know what city she's from. She doesn't even know. They said, "What did you study?" She's like, "Well, I go down to this church." And he's like, "What kind of church?" She's like, "A Lutheran one." He's like, "What's it called?" She's like, "Yeah, I don't know."
Okay, maybe you're right.
I got
maybe
kicked
you're
out.
Paul, Anna, she's getting out of there.
From what I knew about Lutherans, there should have been a very
That's funny.
specific answer to that question, and that kind of threw me off.
ANNA. Done.
Wait, who voted for Paul?
Check your bias. Bye. Being the only woman in the group today was a little tricky. Obviously, not being able to always edge my way into the conversation was not able to present it in the way that I would have liked and that I thought would have been more effective.
Is that what happened?
And I was so happy that
I
there
thought
was
she
a
was
female
running the
pastor,
conversation. She was
because
just
they're
answering
the
wrong.
only types of people that are as rare as gay pastors like myself.
It's very much.
Daniel. Maybe he's from the same church.
We're gonna have to cut this out. Maybe not.
still new,
That's what
where
you
we're
say.
seeing queer pastors and queer worship leaders and queer Christians.
Tell me, you got kicked out for what?
I got kicked out. Well, I got kicked out because I was in the church, and as I grew older in the church, I began to ask questions that to me were very obvious.
What was one of those questions?
Is baptism essential for salvation? You know, communion, you know, some of those, you know, battleground questions that oftentimes separate,
Valid.
you know, faith and denomination.
I ask those
I
questions all the
pastored
time,
high school
Don.
kids for years, and I never had any of them asking me that question.
I want to know what everybody's ministry
I'm stiff, bro.
responsibilities are and
Stiff.
what you're currently teaching through.
Yeah, so I'm an assistant teaching pastor, and so we're replanting, revitalizing. So I'm an elder and a teaching
Oh,
pastor.
he used the word revitalizing? That's a pastor for sure.
He looks like
That's a pastor for sure.
what's his name?
If somebody says the word revival, that's a pastor for sure.
We watched his videos inside an internship during COVID.
Carl Lentz.
No, I forget his name.
Which guy?
He's more on the hippie side.
Bro. Was he like a TSU guy?
Yeah, he's the guy from TLC.
The Nathan Pinocchio?
Yes, that guy.
Ah.
He reminds me of Nathan Pinocchio.
They have that very distinct, like, yeah, it's like a hippie vibe.
Yeah.
The hippie vibe.
It's that Jesus Revolution vibe.
Korean Church in La Mirada, California, and I take care of the youth ministry.
So I'm kind of semi-retired. I also don't have a congregation, although I work with one. It's a little Episcopal church in San Clemente. I also have a weird job that I'm chaplain to a governmental agency.
Jay answered a question about being retired, but he never indicated what he was retired from. And after years of being in ministry or serving, I thought there would have been a culmination of his life experiences, and now he's doing a part-time assistant thing, and I thought,
Don's a little
okay, so we've slipped
detective.
into some unknown factors about yourself, Jay.
I don't pastor a church. I pastor pastors. So I work for a denomination, and
He seems like a
I
pastor.
preach at different congregations.
That guy reminds
I'm
me
not
of
in the
Mike
pulpit
Winger.
right now,
Yes,
but I am
yes.
teaching in small groups, conversations. There's a lot of dogmatic positions that are just generalized for Christendom.
So I have a question. I mean,
If Don is not a Christian, I'm gonna be a little upset. I'm gonna be a little offended. I'll be like, dang, pastors could just be
Liars.
they could just be copying, dude.
Wolves in sheep's clothing.
But I feel like you can tell too by the terminology. You know, pastors say words like the revitalization was kind of a joke, but some people they don't really like care. Like you don't hear non-pastors really like speaking that lingo unless they're like the two atheist guys are like trained on what to do. But
I still think it's Paul and
that Paul guy is a little shady.
Paul and Jay.
Jay
But
just looks like somebody's grandpa though.
he looks like a Southern Baptist.
Don made a good point about him though.
Yeah.
But he's an Episcopal living. I don't know. We could try. He's an Episcopalian. He's Episcopalian.
Yes. Ecclesiastes.
But
when was the last time
They do seem a
you
little
were
sketchy.
in a hospital room with somebody, and what comfort did you give them in a time that was
come
critical?
on.
I think that someone who is
I hate this
in
question.
pastoral
Lucky I would hate
ministry
that
is more
question.
than just preaching and teaching. I felt a question
Come
that
on.
would get at that about how somebody gives the comfort and the peace of the presence of God would really indicate whether or not they
He
were a
sounds
pastor
good.
and they were involved in that type of ministry.
Last
Even
time I
if
was in
he's
the
not a
hospital
pastor,
was not
he's
too
right.
long ago. It was I'd actually become almost a medical proxy for a family friend's mother. She was elderly and just kind of going through, and it was very, very tender for me. But the comfort that I gave was in knowing that her family was nearby, and knowing that beyond this moment, when she stepped out of time into eternity, she would be in the place she longed to be.
I've only had to do it once, and it was very recent, and I hated it with every fiber of my being because it was for somebody that like I loved, and it was a lot of waiting and quiet and like very, very soft prayers and just kind of being there, and I'm shaking. I hated it.
The thing that
No
I
way
thought
they're
I
voting
spotted
Don.
was that he was just trying too hard.
I feel like that's just some pastors.
The way that he was
bro.
answering the questions was very old school.
He just doesn't look.
Do y'all know Jesus?
Sorry.
I see what's happening. First the woman, then the black man, the gay is next.
Oh my gosh!
What the devil? Me? I question everybody else left up there. Do they know Jesus? 'Cause I know him.
If you think the mole is still in the box,
Dude, I'd be like, okay, guys, before we get into it, how about we go around in a circle and pray about this?
You first.
They'll pray. Let's do. They'll just pray, and then God will just be like, "There's the moles."
Let's go around and say our favorite Bible.
Be like, dude? Let's ask God who's not the Christian here, and then everyone will be like, "I feel like it's this guy is not a Christian."
What is your thoughts about the Nephilim?
Dude, but also,
Paul hasn't talked at all.
they're like cutting his words short. I feel like he's answered when they were filming it, but they just edited him out, made it too obvious that he's the snake. No, because those guys would have voted him out, unless. But I don't think it was Don. I think the mole's definitely at least one of them still in there. I think it's Paul.
if you want to continue playing the game, please
Maybe
raise your hand.
So let's start with the question of what does atheism mean to you?
I talk to my kids a lot about agnosticism, more than I talk about atheism, just because of the oversimplification of like, as an atheist, I don't believe in God. Well, it's like, well, what is God?
I go back to like what Augustine the Hippo said, right? Like all hearts are restless until they find rest in God. An atheist is not the enemy. It's not just because you don't believe in the God that I love and serve. Doesn't mean you're the enemy. It means that you're restless in your heart and you're trying to search for meaning and belonging in anything.
Bro, he's just preaching.
I'd be curious to know.
But I feel like a heavy atheist would know that counter argument. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but he presented it so well.
He really does. It's like, but it's almost too well.
Nah, dude. You
It's
think
too
he's
well.
faking?
I don't know.
Bro, listen to the way he said it. He just
restless until they find rest in God.
Bro, come on.
Atheist is
That's the pastor figures and everything too. He's like, come on, pastor, somebody.
It's not the enemy. It's not
Look at that.
just
Look at
because
that
you don't
hammer,
believe in the God that I love and serve. Doesn't mean you're the enemy. It means that you're restless in your heart and you're trying to search for meaning and belonging in anything other than God.
I'd be curious to know if anybody on the stage that did not have a real serious questioning time.
You start.
Yeah, go for
You
it.
are very quiet, and that's just a little sus to me.
What was the question?
You are the best
What brought
dressed.
you out of
so-
that?
I'm a little overdressed today. So the question was, have I ever wrestled with faith? To be honest, I wrestled more with my calling, more than my faith. My faith, once I had an experience, an encounter with God out of drug addiction, my faith was pretty solid.
Interesting. I feel like that's not how it works.
He's a little. I don't want to assume, but I don't think he doesn't look like the drug type.
Bro, anybody can be doing
I
drugs.
know, but he looks so nice.
He's got a suit on. People in suits don't do drugs.
They don't.
His name's Paul. He's named after Paul, bro. Look at him. One eye open.
But with the calling, I think I wrestled countless amount of times. In high school, my parents decided to split, and that's when I really went on a frenzy with drug addiction. I struggled with meth, crystal meth, in my junior year. And that's what really put me to the pit of my life, the most rock bottom of my life, and the only way I could go is to look up.
So I have a question. How do we feel about eschatology?
Well, we're a millennial.
You're on
Sorry,
millennial,
yeah, low-key.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, is it talking about end times and stuff?
Yeah, wait.
Oh no, we
wait,
know.
wait, go
we
back.
know about that.
About eschatology.
Well,
He
we're
is
a
definitely
millennial.
safe.
You're on millennial.
What's his
Yeah,
name?
very cool.
Dominic? He's safe.
We are in the end times.
Yeah,
We were the second
totally.
Jesus said it was
Yeah,
finished.
I have a lot more openness to the on-mill position than I did. Growing up, Calvary Chapel was like hyper dispensational.
This is really, I'm like
Hyper dispensational pre-mill, you know.
because of the sensationalism.
Because of your
Wait, he's a
background.
sensationalist and
So
he's
that's- yeah.
a progressive.
No, because he said this is
I don't expect the
super
end time anytime
sensitive
soon.
topic. But I don't know. I feel like he's forcing it too much.
I sensed maybe a little bit of woundedness that he was putting forth, and
actually
wondering if
really
maybe that was part of what he was using as a mask there.
Yay.
I won't lie to you, Jay looked super familiar, and I was banking on him being a paid actor that I had seen in something before.
Oh, that guy.
There was a tie. The tie is between Jay and Daniel.
Whoa!
On the clock. 30.
Is that man swearing?
Does that not point red flags?
Okay, I mean...
When you're a pastor and you swear on camera...
Yeah, I mean, sometimes the bad words slip out, but I feel like he had time to not... Yeah. He just has... I mean, if you're trying to be like, hey guys, I'm not an atheist, wouldn't you want to try and act your most... At least pretend to act your most holy? Like, I don't know.
Seconds to state your case.
You know, I don't know what to say except that I think I should have not voted for the redo. Other than that,
you're just digging yourself a hole, brother. You're
85 to 88, MDiv, Episcopal priest for 35 years. I thought what was going to do me in is I'm really liberal. And you guys just killed me.
So he was just holding back.
I know what to say.
Because he's a very liberal pastor. And so he probably just didn't want to say stuff because they were probably going to butt heads a lot. And he knows. That's why he was just hesitant. Which only that very small ending was a good explanation. Everything you said before is so whack. Jay's is like, well,
you got me.
It's sunny outside. I shouldn't have voted for the redo. Like, you didn't have the choice, bro. They voted for you.
I am a pastor. Please don't vote me out. It's as simple as that. I know that I've been ordained for a bit and I'm in this like new congregation I'm really excited about, and the reason that I actually came was because I heard that there was some cash and I was like, I really want to take the kids on like a cool trip, and so I really want to like split some of this cash for the kids in the youth group, so that's why I'm here and I don't want to get voted out.
Sounds like he's guilt tripping us.
He's guilty.
He's guilt tripping us into not voting for him?
I was a youth pastor, man. Like,
yeah, bro. See, I would vote.
Like, I didn't used to use my own personal money.
I definitely saw.
Yes,
part in
yes,
Jay,
that's so
and,
true.
I felt like Daniel was more of a presentation.
Sorry, D Money.
There we go again.
All day.
If the lights turn green, that means the mole is out and you win. If the lights turn red, that means the mole is still in the box and you lose. 3.
Oh, imagine they're both like,
1.
Hey.
It was Daniel and Anna, bro.
Can the moles please reveal themselves? 1,
Or is
2,
Dawn and Anna?
3.
Wow. Suckers.
Oh, you're right.
Pray against the rest
Oh,
of
yeah. My apologies, man.
Absolutely.
My apologies.
Absolutely.
And Calvary Chapel, all of that was real?
I do have a degree in theology from Calvary Chapel Bible.
Got it.
A big part of it was a personal desire for knowledge and understanding of my own existence. So that was really what drove the course. And I wanted to feel like I was doing everything I could to get those answers.
So I have actually worked in the church for about 8 years total as a pianist and organist on and off. So I had a lot to draw from.
Here's what got me. As a Lutheran,
I know what
there
it
are
is.
no general Lutherans.
Yes. Yes. That got me.
Well, no, that really is the thing. Though, is I'm from such a loosely populated area that really is the case. Is there's so little that even brings people together. There's a lot of churches that are people who are strongly Catholic, strongly Lutheran, that will all be in the same place because like a whole town will be like a gas station, a corner store, and 10 houses.
So we are very much in a turning point in the community when it comes to queer individuals in Christianity. Even though I do not subscribe to Christianity, it's great to see at least a portion of this community that has such a large history of having a negative agenda towards us as a community, opening up their eyes, admitting their wrongs, apologizing and seeking reconciliation. And I think that it can only, get better so long as they continue to move on that track.
Pastors actually think a little bit more deeply about people and their condition of their soul. And I really hope that those who view this would actually seek out that type of spiritual direction as well.
Make it rain!
Make it rain?
Oh, make it rain.
All right. Okay.
All right.
Make it rain. Come on, pastors. Come on, bunch of pastors, making it rain out there. It's like, yes, can't wait to tithe this. Thank you guys for coming. Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.